All right. It's been a while since I've live streamed, so hopefully I got this set up correctly. It's actually since the last time I live streamed, the music looks like it's loud. So since the last time I live streamed, I had a single ultra wide monitor, but now I'm back to dual monitors. So I've had to like change my whole setup and everything, but we're back. Hello, welcome to another stream. It has been a long time. I didn't get as many submissions as I would like, so the submissions are still open for now. I think I left a link in the chat. Feel like if you want to add some photos, just let me know. I'll drop the link again. I think it's in the description as well. You will have till about 11-ish, or just one more hour. But hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon for everyone around the world. Anyone else doing some editing during the stream? That's probably like the best way to do stuff too. Just kind of sit and chill, watch the stream. Everybody's editing at the same time. You're like, oh, let me get some photos in. Nice. But yeah, how's everyone doing? This wedding season has been challenging to say the least, but I've been updating you all on how everything's been going with my business, which at the moment is actually going pretty well, which has been really awesome to see. But at the beginning of this year, I was like in my feels. I had like no weddings booked. It just like was the absolute worst, but it's picked up for me now. I think I'm at about 16 weddings for 2026. Inquiries are coming in pretty regularly. I've gone ahead and raised my prices now because I booked so many so quick. And I think I have at least 4 to 5 more left for this year, which are all basically booked for this year. So that was really awesome. Loving the beanie. I cut my hair off, y'all. I cut it again. I'm getting to that nice ripe age where things start happening with your hair. So it's a little chilly. I like being able to wear hats and beanies and things. So cutting my hair when we start moving into like fall and winter is always kind of the best for me. Proud of you hanging in there. Yeah, goodness. I was really thinking about hanging it up or at least like getting a part-time job or something. I really was like, I was like, maybe this is it. Because again, I have a family to support and we're on a single income. So like if I'm not making money, I got to figure something out. I can't just be like, oh, well, I don't have enough weddings this year. Thank you for sharing that. I always feel like I'm the only one at a standstill. Oh, yeah. That's the main reason I shared it too, because I knew if I was dealing with it, everybody felt that way. And I think that's the worst part about a lot of that stuff is not knowing that you're going through it with other people. Like when you feel like you're the only one and everyone's like, oh, I'm booked up for the year. No. And you're like, what? You know, it's the worst. Right there with you. Weddings slowed down substantially for me. I had to supplement with quinceañeras, sweet 16s. Yep, exactly. I ended up not doing anything different. I just kind of like changed my approach. I did drop my prices a little bit, but you know, I've given you all that story before. My prices were just way too high in the first place. Have your muscles grown? Now that you're a GFX man? Maybe just a little bit. Honestly, like, so I've been shooting with the GFX 102 and also the 100 RF. And while the 102 is huge, that RF is tiny. It is so good. And I use it for weddings. It's great. I'm going to show some of my photos at some point, depending on how many different submissions we end up getting. I'm going to wait a little while and upload the next set. Yeah, because we have people uploading now. So I'll add some new photos as well. But yeah, that GFX 100 RF is light, y'all. It's crazy. The only thing that's a little annoying about it for a wedding photographer is the fact that it's f4. But outside of that, it is absolutely amazing. Totally didn't see the 2 or 3 images thing. You're like, here's 20 photos. I mean, if it's way too many, I might just skip them, but it's okay. On the RF is just wide family shots. I'm curious. I want to trade my Sony. Oh yeah, so, oh, I got morning eyes. I'm so tired, y'all. Because the RF has that like crop in feature, I'm pretty much using it for like wide shots and also sometimes cropping it in. But yeah, it takes the place of my like wide camera as I usually have in my setup. And it fits perfectly because all I need is that one camera, and I can always pop in on the photo a little bit if I need. One thing I think I like the most about it too is the fact that if I'm zooming in or like cropping on the image in camera, it's still taking the full raw photo. So when I get back to edit my own photos, sometimes I can just change the crop. Like there's more to the photo than I even realized. And sometimes it even makes for really cool compositions that I would have never done in the first place. So I actually, is my RF? Yeah, it's here in the back. I just got this this small rig hand grip and the soft shutter release on the top. I love this little camera. It is so good. And I've come to find that when I use it, I tend to want to use it more than any of my other cameras. But again, that's because I like shooting wide as well. So this thing is awesome. Such a good camera. Literally just now starting editing photos in Lightroom after an ImagenAI cull. Yeah, let's go. Well, before we start getting into these photos and editing and things, speaking of ImagenAI, this video is actually sponsored by ImagenAI. So this live stream is sponsored by Imagen. If you all don't know about Imagen, it is AI photo editing and culling and so much more, but think of it more like an assistant. It's not just AI trying to replicate your photos into something. It's literally an AI assistant that will edit the photos like you, or you can use different profiles like my own with the natural fields, or other ones you can get from their marketplace. There's so many things you can do with Imagen. So today on this stream, we're actually going to be using Imagen to edit the photos and then go back and retweak the photos. I'm also going to show off the cull feature on an engagement session I just did as well. So check the chat. I have my bot drop in links. You can get 1,500 free photo edits in ImagenAI if you sign up with the link, which is basically a whole wedding, if not 2, depending on how many photos you're taking, or multiple engagement sessions, or multiple quinceañeras, so that you don't have to edit. Because the biggest thing with Imagen here is the fact that you can start batching a lot more sessions quickly and easily because you're not doing the majority of the work. So again, check out the chat for the link. I'll post it in there myself, but my bot's also going to be checking it out. You can also check it out in the description below. Sign up for your free 1,500 edits, and let's go ahead and start looking at some of these photos. Uh-oh, someone's spammed caps. I love how the bot jumps in all the time, like, what are you doing? Seriously, Imagen's culling feature has saved me countless hours in editing. Yes, the culling is actually really good. And I especially like it for engagement sessions. But if you all haven't seen the new feature, the cull to number, like a specific number, is actually really great because you can either pick a specific number you want it to cull to, or you can cull by percentage. So like, I only want to keep like 20% of the photos, and then it'll cull that way too. So it's really good. The culling is great. So here are y'all's submissions. I'm still waiting for some more submissions. So while we're waiting, let's just keep talking about, yeah, I'm still waiting for more submissions. Let's talk about the GFX 100 RF. Look at this engagement session I have, and then maybe go ahead and try and cull it real quick too. Let's see. Now I have a bunch of sessions now. I went from like having nothing at all to now my whole thing is filled up. Who did I just do an engagement session with? Here we go. So I did this engagement session with the GFX 102 and the 100 RF. So all the photos that are wide are going to be the RF photos. And honestly, y'all, like, this thing looks great. It really, a lot of people complain like immediately looking at the specs and be like, oh, it's F4, but like, it's good. It is really good. Let's see, let's look at a before and after. Yeah, so this was it straight out of camera, and then mine on the right. So I've already gone through and done my sneak peeks. So let me show those to you all. And the funny thing is by looking at these sneak peeks, the majority of them are the 100 RF. So I know a lot of people like to act like you can't use the 100 RF to do actual work. But this stuff looks great. Like, it's really awesome. Audio's off? Oh, no, okay. Audio's good. Yeah, all the wider shots here are all GFX 100 RF, and the photos look so good. This one is not. This is the 102. And that's why I like using them in conjunction like that, because it's basically the difference between the bigger shots that I want some bokeh on and then just the wider shots. But like I said again too, like I just have so much extra space to crop. Like, look at that. It's not even the whole photo. And so it brings in the crop information from the camera too, which is really awesome. Yeah, it's so good. If y'all are in the market for a GFX and just want a nice point and shoot, because I know it's kind of like a weird space to be in for a camera, but I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a huge fan. But for now, let me go ahead and jump into Imagine and call this engagement session real quick. Free my man GK. So here we are in Imagine. I'm gonna have to close Lightroom for the moment. John, you recently made a video talking about using your X-T5 a little more again. Where you at? Where you at on that now, particularly when using alongside the GFX? So I'm in this weird middle ground where like I'm either gonna use the GFX or the X-T5, and it's mainly because of the 100 RF that kind of like changed everything for me. It's been a while since I've done the X-T5 and GFX in conjunction, but they are a great combination. And I might start doing that again. Now I'm just being picky and lame about everything, really. But now it's like, depending on the wedding and what the photos may look like at the wedding, like the location and stuff, I kind of pick if I want GFX or not. But there's no middle ground. I'm either going full X-T5 or not, because the hardest part is that weight difference between the cameras. So like all day I have like this super heavy camera on one side weighing me down, and then the other one's like barely doing anything. So let's go ahead and create a new project and Imagine. Actually, can I go ahead and make this bigger? Oh yeah, look at that. All right. So I'm gonna create a new project, and we're gonna start out with culling. We're gonna look through my catalog, which is my 2025. If y'all are familiar, I like to use one single catalog for the year. I think it makes the most sense. Also too, it makes it so much easier for you to go through everything and actually just have your photos there rather than like back and forth all the time. Trisha, thanks for joining Team Support. Welcome to the channel. Weight difference is crazy for sure. I actually stopped using the Moneymaker dual harness for that reason. Been running with a GFX 50S2 as my main and a Nikon ZF on the other side. How are you carrying your cameras now? Are you using like the spider holster or whatever, the one that comes around your waist? So here is my engagement session. So I'm going to choose that. And then for my filters, I want photos with no stars and no edits, because I've already done a quick pass and did a first look previews for the couple. So I don't want those to get edited again. And one thing I love is that once it culls and edits, my photos are still there. And a lot of times after it edits, I have a hard time knowing which is which. So that actually is super helpful there. So we'll go to next. Hey, what happened? And let's add engagement, just so I know. For engagements, I actually like to choose wedding because it's about the same. So I want it to think about it the same way. And then next up. So here goes our brand new cull to exact number. And like I said, again, I like to usually use the percent, but you can also do just a straight up exact number if you want. So I'm just gonna do, let's see what 20% looks like. It's gonna give me 200 photos. That's a little bit much for an engagement session. It says the minimum is 5%, which will give me 54, which is definitely not enough. So let's go with 10. Yeah, 108 is pretty good. Yeah, that works. So let's upload those, and Imagine will go ahead and cull them for me. Way more comfortable, and I only pull out the Nikon when I need it. But been running old Mamiya manual focus lenses on the GFX. Ooh, goodness, that probably looks amazing. How's the Lumix X5? I don't know. I've never used it. Anyone in the chat used it? The Lumix S5 2X? That's one thing. I'm shooting basically Fujifilm only, and I haven't really tried out too many other cameras. I'm not such a huge camera guy that I have to try everything that's like the best. I just want a nice camera that I like to use. So like I've been shooting with the X1/2 a lot, and I actually want to do a photo shoot with the X1/2 for the channel, which I need to set that up soon. Maybe I'll do something in November. But I really like that camera. And I know it doesn't make sense, but it's such a great camera. I just hate how everyone always wants to focus only on specs, and they just like, they kind of miss the point of photography because they're so like, oh, the sensor's this and the f-stop's that and na 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 na. It's like, just take some photos, man. Like, let's just take some good photos. Mamiya lenses feel like they were made for GFX somehow. Yeah, I've seen a couple Mamiya lenses on GFXs, and oh my goodness. Like, what I really want to do is I want to shoot full GFX and then market it as like digital film and put a really like film look on my photos, but shoot it with like Mamiya and like manual lenses so that sometimes, you know, like I might miss the focus a little bit and really get that film-esque feel to everything. Like, I think that would be awesome. And I think Gen Z now looking for like more tangible products, I think that would be great for wedding photos going forward. I rented the Fuji X-H2 last weekend. Same chip as the X-T5. I was very impressed with the sharpness and contrast. You can adjust exposure and white balance and call it a, yeah, it's really great. The X-T5 always surprised, like I forget sometimes that the X-T5 is so amazing, but like every time I use it, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. The camera is light, the photos look great. Like, I love my GFXs, don't get me wrong. Like, they're absolutely amazing, but at the end of the day, the small power of the X-T5 is more than enough. Yep, the Mamiya look on GFX inherently makes me edit more film-like too. Slightly softer focus, more grain in Lightroom, more black and white. Yeah. more tangible products. So there's this shift going on, at least it seems like to me. I don't totally know Gen Z people like that. I also hate how everyone wants to just section everybody off on like when they were born, but whatever. So there's this movement going on right now of physical media being more of a thing, because people are starting to realize that like the way that a lot of these companies set up everything is you don't really own anything at all. Like, you buy movies from the iTunes store or the Apple TV or whatever they're calling it now, or you buy Nintendo Switch games from their eShop or PlayStation games digitally, and in all of the licensing and small fine print, it's basically saying, hey, you're just buying the right to be able to play the game. So now there's starting to be a shift where people want physical media more. And that same shift is kind of going for photos, where couples either will ask you if you shoot film or want photos to look more like film. Like, that stuff is so much more important to them. So this whole tangible media thing is kind of changing the way that everybody thinks about, especially even wedding photography. And the look of the photos have much more of a like soft film look to them. Even I did that video recently on Selena Gomez's wedding photos, and it's very much like that. Those photos are so much more film. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they are actual film. So even I'm thinking about starting to move my stuff more to a film look, even more so than I already have. Like, I'm thinking about starting to fade the photos a little bit more and just really get into that more moody look, that film look, lots of grain, but we'll see how it goes. Upload at 5, awesome. Awesome. Let me see how this is looking. There we go. Yeah, we got some submissions coming through. Submissions are still open, y'all, so jump in there if you haven't submitted any photos yet. Tangible is my full service studio world. Just sold 2 10x10 albums for $1,500 each. Nice. Yeah, I need to start doing more in-person sales. I have albums and stuff, but I'm not doing full service, which is the problem. John is 100% correct about tangible media and photos that feel softer and more real. I also think it's natural rebellion against things like AI. Exactly. How do we submit photos? I have a link here, which I'm gonna drop in the chat. Oh, there's an update. We'll come back for that later. And you can submit a couple of raw photos there, and I'll edit them on the stream. We're gonna be using Imagine to edit, and then we're gonna go through and tweak the photos a little bit as well. Because yeah, we still have time. I'm waiting until about 11 to take new submissions, and I'll add it to the photos I already have. While we're doing that, we're just waiting for Imagine to go ahead and do my engagement session so we can take a look at the culling. Uploading, John. Don't hate me. Took inspiration from Javi. It's like, oh, here's a whole session. Also, the white balance is atrocious on the wedding day. I had to do a lot of correction and post, but wanted... You know, I found the white balance isn't that bad, and it's really about training it. I've almost uploaded enough photos that Imagine's gonna want to retweak my profile I created, and so that may help out more. What I've found that currently the way I have my Imagine set up, and half of this is my own fault, is it overexposes my photos a little more than I would like. And I also, the photos tend to be a little bit warmer than I would like, but I think the white balance is honestly on. Like, I definitely wouldn't say it's atrocious. Generally, what I tell people is the results I'm getting from my Imagine photos coming back are like 85 to 90% correct, which in my opinion is perfectly fine, because I don't want to sit there and edit all the photos. I don't mind going back and making quick tweaks. Threw a variety at you. I'm so interested to see how Imagine can help me. Yeah, well, first off, we're going to check out this culling once it comes through. Sometimes I've noticed you have to like come in and come back out, because sometimes it goes so fast that you don't even know what happens. Also, I think I finished this engagement session, so I can upload that so that Imagine can learn from it. Let me check. I don't remember. Yeah, I did finish that one. Let me go ahead and upload those final edits too while I'm here. Now y'all are really getting a look at my workday. This is the stuff I do. So it's gonna upload those final edits. And so see, I almost have enough photos uploaded for fine tuning. And then you can also deliver the edits from here, which is it'll like publish it to PicTime or something like that for you. But I already do that myself. So now that I'm done with that, I can archive the project. How many more photos do I need? Is it ready? I think it is ready for fine tuning. I'll do that later. I think this one is done too. Yeah, I finished this also. I just delivered that the other day. Yeah, just uploaded a few raws. Yeah. Now y'all got me over here working for real. I'm like, oh yeah, there's things I can actually do. There's things I need to do in my business. Oh, I'm almost ready for fine tuning. I see. I'm real close to it. I'll be there after like the next couple sessions. Shows 3 raw photos from the 50S2 with those Mamiya lenses so you could see. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Those are going to be beautiful. I need to find everything I need to do that, cuz I got an adapter so I can use Nikon lenses because I have a Sigma art lens. But what's funny is like I got it and then I just haven't used it at all. I need to start trying to use it. Maybe I'll use it on the next wedding I do. I think it's a 50 mil. Yeah, I think it's a 50 mil. Oh yeah, these submissions are looking much better now. I'll be downloading them in just a moment. 79 uploads. Who uploaded 30 photos? No, oh wow, yeah, George went hard on the photos. He just threw a bunch in there. All right, my culling is done now, it looks like. I should be able to review the culling in just a moment. There we go. So Imagine has now culled all my photos and I can review my culling. And again, it gave me that 10%. Let's see. So we have 921 stars, 108 for the 5-star keepers. And with 4-star, we have extras. Those are just other photos that it thinks might work. But honestly, a lot of times I don't even bother with the extras. Usually the 5 stars and what I wanted is perfect, especially for an engagement session. 100 photos is kind of a lot. So Imagine has now culled it for me and I can come back in and review. And there's 2 ways you can review your photos. You can have them show you just the straight up raw photos, or you can have it go ahead and edit the photos so you can see what they would look like when they're finished. Personally, for me, just having the raw photos is more than enough for me. One thing I'm seeing here too is that when you're looking at all the photos that are culled, you see they group the similar photos together. So even like, here's one of my wide shot Wednesdays, but it has it grouped as like 18 different photos. And so if I want to come in and see if there's a better pick, like I can come through and look at all the photos it grouped together. And yeah, the one it chose was the best choice. The grouping in the cull process is so helpful. Yeah, it really works out. And a lot of times, especially when I am just culling something like an engagement session, I'm just gonna come through here and like peek at it. And for the most part, it's going to be good. Every now and then I get like too many duplicates of a photo. And so I'm gonna come through and like double check them. But for the most part, like I really am just gonna come in, quickly look at these, and just be good with it. And like, I cannot tell you, like, if you're like me and you're trying to do like 20 plus weddings a year, plus all the engagement sessions you're gonna have, like, it's a lot to have to cull every single wedding and every single engagement session. And then you gotta go through and edit them. And again, yeah, you can hire like a VA or somebody, but using Imagine is like a cheaper option of that. So you're still doing the work. It's just now you're offsetting a little bit of that work. It's like the whole 80-20 rule type of thing, you know? Like, I do 20% of the work now, and Imagine does 80% of it. And it's so much nicer. I mean, yeah, this looks great. There's nothing here that I would not have chosen. It's even, look, it's doing great on picking my horizontal and vertical photos. And it's getting one of each. Got another wide shot. So see, I don't need as many of these. So I'm just gonna hit them with 0 stars real quick. Same with these dip photos. Yeah, like that one. Maybe that one's fine. And then for anything else, honestly, I just do it in Lightroom. Did I mark this as red? Oh no, it was just selected. So like, if there's a photo, like I know there's one in between here where they're like kissing, I'm just not even gonna deal with it in Imagine. I'll go back in Lightroom because I know it's there. Also, John, sorry I'm blowing up your chat here. You just caught me on a rare office only. No, chat away. It gives me extra things to talk about. You're like, a lot of these, this is a bit much. But I'm gonna leave them for now. I'll deal with them in Lightroom. But even still, look, it culled this down pretty hard. 14 of these, 12 of those. So yeah, all these photos of them outside of the chapel where they're gonna be getting married, I'll probably get rid of most of these, but this is fine. This looks great. It's a great cull. 100 photos out of, what was it, 1,000 in just a couple minutes. And see, normally what I would do is I would pretty much set up the cull and then go make a coffee or something, or go eat breakfast, or do my emails, or deal with inquiries. Like, I can do something else, and then I get that email that's like, oh, hey, culling's done, great. Come in here and check it for another, what, 5 to 10 minutes? Cool, looks great. Edit photos. And it's like, oh, do you want to check your extras? Like I said, a lot of times I just don't bother. When I delegate things to people, or AI in this case, I'm a very like, just get it done well. If it looks good, cool, I don't care. Like, you're gonna do it, it's gonna be fine. So this all looks great. Continue to edit. It's gonna edit the 5 stars and also the 4 stars. And so I can always go back through the 4 stars and just double check them. And then I get to pick my AI profile, which is my natural fields. And then on top of that, I can do other things here, like crop, straighten. So I usually will have Imagine straighten all the photos. And then a lot of the other ones I just leave off for now, but there's a lot of options you have here. Portrait crops and stuff, perspective correction. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna hit edit. And now Imagine is going to edit those photos. And what were you all asking about? What camera is this? So this was the GFX 102 and the 100 RF. So most of those wide shots were all 100 RF photos. I just got back to work. You're like, let me upload some photos real quick. Hey, I uploaded a JPEG by mistake. There's a raw file in there. Okay, not a problem. Again, I'll just ignore the JPEGs. We still have time for uploads too, so y'all feel free to keep uploading while I sip on my kale smoothie. So I've been doing a lot of weight loss stuff recently. And a lot of times people think smoothies and they think, you know, like fruits and sweet and oh, so much sugar. This is just straight up kale and a banana and a little bit of pineapple, and that's it. To like edge off the taste of the raw kale. I'm not a wedding photographer, but I'm curious. How many photos do you normally deliver to your clients? So it depends on the wedding day, how long the wedding day is, and just how much details they have. So I quote my couples like 650 average photos, but a lot of times it's between like 800 and 1,000. But yeah, it really depends. Like the last wedding that I had here in Imagine, it came out to like 600 something photos because it was a small intimate wedding. I was only there for like 4 to 5 hours. So they had a lot of details too. So it was a lot of detail photos, a lot of them hanging out with family and things. Whereas like if it's a 8 to 9 hour day with a lot of details, it's gonna be more in the like 1,200 range. Look at that. Imagine's already done editing my photos and now I can download to review. I'm gonna download these edits and we're gonna jump back into Lightroom. Yeah, it's that fast. And that was only 150 photos. It's just about as fast for wedding photos as well. And so like I said again, because a lot of people, when they're using Imagine, their main gripe is gonna be like, well, it doesn't get it perfect. So why am I using it if it's not perfect? For me, if it's saving me an extra couple of hours of me editing, when all I gotta go back and do is double check, for me, that's a huge win. Like, it's still saving me time regardless. Because it goes from having to edit a full wedding for 8 hours, maybe even more, like 8 to 9 hours. So look. Go to my 5 stars, and you can already see the edits popping in. The photos being straightened up. So yeah, for me, that's a huge win. Because it usually takes me about 8 to 9 hours to do a full wedding between the cull and the edit. And it's not 8 to 9 hours in a sitting. I usually spread it out over a couple of weeks and do a couple hours here and there. So the fact that like I can just have Imagine do it and then spend only maybe 2 hours or 1 hour just double checking it and making sure it's fine, to me, this makes all the sense. Here's a great example here too. I'm pretty sure this is the one I edited for my sneak peek. And then this is one that Imagine did. Just talking about accuracy of photos. So the one on the right is the one I did for the sneak peek. I edited that one by hand myself. The one on the left is the one that Imagine did. And I mean, they're pretty much on. I think if anything, this one doesn't have enough magenta. Imagine doesn't know my love for magenta yet, but I mean, again, like, it's fine. Like I said, 95%, which means, you know, I come through and some of the sections, the photos are perfect, and some of the other ones, I might have to tweak them a little bit. Which means I'm not hitting every photo. So this is one that I edited by hand. And then the rest of these, so here's a great example. So the white balance on these is not exactly where I would like it. It's not magenta enough. Other than that though, like, it's very close. And again, once I fine tune it from uploading all my photos after I finish them, it's going to learn and be a little bit closer. And that's the goal, is to continually try to get it closer to what you want for the edits. But again, the fact that I don't have to come in here now and like edit every single photo is a huge win to me. Oh, here's another example. So the one on the left, no, the one on the right is the one I edited by hand. And the one on the left is the one that Imagine did. And like I was saying, recently the exposure's been a little hot, but that's because I used to bump my exposure pretty high. And I've made some adjustments to help, but it still comes in a little hot for my liking. Magenta Man. Can you re-explain how you train it? Yeah, basically inside of Imagine, when you're uploading the final edits, it has this number for fine tuning. Actually, I might be able to see it here. I always forget where the fine tuning. Yeah, here it goes. Oh, that's the last time it fine tuned. I can't remember how to get it to fine tune. Oh, here we go. So it shows now all the projects I've used my profile on, and it's showing how many photos have been uploaded to it. And it gets to a point where you upload enough and then you can fine tune it again. And so basically what you're doing is every time you use Imagine and it goes back to Lightroom and then you make your tweaks, you're re-uploading your final photos back to Imagine so it can finally be like, okay, here's the adjustments I had made originally, but here are the adjustments he switched and liked better. And then after uploading enough of those, you get to a point where you can fine tune. And so it's going to take all that data and try to get closer to where you are. So you see, I need 465 photos more until I can fine tune. But between the engagement session, I have a couple of engagement sessions. And I think I just shot a wedding as well. And if not, I have 2 more weddings coming up. So yeah, I'm going to be fine tuning pretty soon here. As a wedding photographer with 18 weddings in the queue waiting to be edited, I can confidently say I'd be screwed without Imagine. I mean, yeah, I could not imagine doing it. I mean, I used to, and it was the worst. Like, I'm just sitting around editing forever. Hey, John, what's the cheapest Fuji film camera? It depends on what kind of stuff you're shooting. So, like, if you just want a camera for fun, the X-Half is really awesome. It's probably one of the cheapest ones. If you want a camera that's a little bit more versatile and more like a real camera that you can use for all kinds of stuff, then I would suggest something like the XT30. I love the XT or the XT50. Any of those are like absolutely great. So yeah, here we go again. Here's another example. So again, this is a little too hot. And so really, I don't even have to go in and edit. Look, I just click on it and use the quick develop here on the side and just pull back the exposure. And that's it. And like for the most part, it's on. Like maybe raise the magenta a little bit. And so that's the biggest thing for me. A lot of times, like, I don't have to go into the photo. Even like, so this is pretty similar to the rest of these photos. And if I want to make it black and white, you have your saved presets here in the quick develop. Use your preset, and then I can just pick my black and white, and then boom. Pull back the exposure some. And that's it. And I don't even have to go into the photo to edit it. And again, this is what I love about Imagine. Just how fast I can go ahead and do everything after the fact. Rather than having to edit everything myself the whole time. So yeah, for wedding photography, or event photography or anything large like that, it is absolutely amazing. I can't even tell which one of these I edited anymore. Yeah, then I would go through, quick tweak of all the photos. It'd take me an extra, you know, maybe an hour or something, and then I'm done. So like, I'm turning around weddings now in like a week or two, especially if I get on top of it. Bro, I was looking at an XS20 earlier today, and the used prices are now like only $200 cheaper than the XT5. Wow, that's crazy. Used prices all around for Fuji keep going. Yeah, it's because Fuji has a hard time making the cameras, I guess. The supply is like low. I sold a bunch of my cameras, and now I'm just not getting any more. I mean, I have enough. I don't need to get any more anyway, so. What time of the day are these images? It was, what was it, like 4 o'clock? It should be on my metadata. Yeah, it's like 4. And it's like fall-ish time. I wonder if the befores will... I mean, yeah, the sun was coming through. Usually once we start getting into the fall, I start my engagement sessions earlier. I actually personally don't like golden hour. I am not a fan. But, so I'll set my timing to where I have enough light, but it's not like high noon. Question, can you train it to 2 different models? For example, when I second shoot for someone and they pay me to edit? Yeah, you can. So inside of Imagine, there's a couple of different ways you can make your own profiles. So the original way, and don't quote me on this, but you were supposed to upload like 1,500 to 3,000 photos that are already edited, and it learns from that. But they did recently add a way where you can just upload a preset. So if you're editing for another photographer and they have a preset that they gave to you, then you can just upload that into Imagine and then use it that way. Because yeah, if they're paying you for editing, especially if you're not tracking your time, it's just like a flat rate, run that bro through Imagine. Double check it real quick and send it back to them and make that money without having to like use all that time. That's exactly what I would do. Also, yeah, culling too. Yeah, because I haven't worked for a photographer who does that, but I've seen it before where they're like, hey, cull it and edit it for me because they don't want to deal with anything. So yeah, run all that through Imagine and stop wasting your own time. I just bought the Fuji A205. Now I need to look that up. A205. Oh, nice. That thing is tiny. Good old early digital films. Not film, just digital cameras in general. 12 megapixels, oh my goodness. Wow, this thing is tiny. Okay, we're almost up to 100 photos. Y'all did a good job. I'm about to download these. Oh, 2 megapixels? I thought it said 12. Watching from the Philippines. Your videos are so much fun to watch. Thank you for joining in. Welcome to the channel. Can you do the machine learning on specific scenes, like scenes for outdoor photos, shooting in front of churches, scenes in low light? No, it generally, I don't know how it learns how the photo should be for different types of photos, but it does really good at being able to just know how a scene should look throughout the whole day, even the reception. Like it's really awesome seeing it just be like, oh yeah, this is reception and it's dark, and it edited those just fine. So I've never had a problem with that at all. Let's see if we can raise the magenta on these real quick. That might have been too much. Yeah, that might be too much. All right, I'm about to download y'all submissions. What is your Kelvin at? Like in camera when I'm shooting? I usually shoot auto white balance. In the fall though, I probably should not just shoot auto because it starts becoming an ordeal. Because auto white balance has no idea what to do with when it comes to fall. All right, downloading the new submissions. And we are closing the submissions for now. Great job, y'all. Oh, where Lightroom had it? So yeah, we're 6.2. Let's see what the photo I edited. I mean, yeah, it's pretty close. That's after I adjust it though. Yeah, I had it at 6.150. You know, I like never look at the numbers. I just be eyeballing everything the whole time. Let's do a black and white in there real quick. I started my business recently with 2 Canon 6D. The photos look amazing. I used, yep. So I started with the Canon 6D as well. 6D is a great camera. The only downside to the 6D, especially for a wedding photographer, is the fact that it's only a single card slot. So I'm a big fan of the 6D. I have fond memories of that camera. Shout out JB from the Philippines. Welcome to the channel. Just seems like one more thing to keep up with during a shoot that you don't have to. Yeah. Yeah, the only time I turn on Kelvin in the camera is when the autofocus just, not the autofocus, the camera just has no idea what's happening. Too much of the same photo. All right. Uh-oh, what happened? The download just randomly stopped. I'm trying to download y'all's photos real quick. I've used your preset on ImagenAI tons of times. It's been great. Nice. Yeah, and especially like having a base to start at where you don't have to edit absolutely everything makes a huge difference, so. Yeah, these are all like the same. Maybe I'll just black and white this one. And then this one's a little bit too warm for my liking. So again, like, yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of adjusting sometimes, but it's nothing where I feel like I'm missing out or something. Again, it's like having an assistant make the first pass. I would rather have that than having to edit every single photo myself. You're also the reason I went to Fuji system. Yeah, let's go. Usually turn it on for weddings. Down here, the churches and chapels and such have tungsten lighting mostly. Yeah, when you get indoors and have that tungsten everywhere, it is nice to go ahead and just auto white balance. Not auto, but switch the Kelvin on. I find I'm usually changing the white balance depending on the lighting situation. In the shade, it'll need much more warmth compared to shooting. Yeah, for me, it just comes down to what the camera sees. because if the camera is making things way too blue in camera, then I'm definitely going to switch it to Kelvin. But auto white balance, especially in the Fuji cameras, has done really well for me. So I just kind of leave it how it is and it's fine. There we go. Okay. Here's our live stream. Here are y'all's beautiful photos. I'm gonna upload these new photos. And it's gonna skip, yeah, all the duplicates. Is this bro wearing a moneymaker? No, I'm just Nice. Oh yeah, these type of churches are like the worst. That's where it starts getting a little hard. Look at these beautiful photos. Oh, is this the JPEG? Or is this just... Oh no, that's the preview, okay. Got some duplicates here. Oh yeah, the DNGs probably will get rid of this. Trying to see if I could find that JPEG that sneaked in there. Awesome. Great stuff, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's jump into Imagine. See what Imagine will do. And then I'll go through each photo, make any tweaks that I would make, and then also do some like quick short critiques. So to start out, I'll need to close Lightroom. And then we're going to create a new project. We're not going to cull this time. We're just going to edit. Pick my Lightroom catalog, and we want my October live stream. And we're gonna edit all the photos. Filtered photo, like here, let's clear all there. And it'll just do every photo. I'm just gonna call it wedding. We'll name this October live stream. Use my natural fields, and we'll go ahead and straighten it again and upload that for edit. Whoops, accidentally named my files incorrectly. They're in Lightroom, so ignore the city church thing. LS photography, using my personal channel. Oh yeah, there goes the Imagine link again if no one's had a chance to try out Imagine. So we're gonna let this upload real quick. It's gonna edit the photos, which it should go fairly fast, especially for only 90 photos. One of these days I should actually like time it, but it's fast. Before I had used Imagine at all, they had asked me if I wanted to check it out. And yeah, when I saw how fast it was, I was pretty much sold immediately because I was like, this is crazy. I think I ran like 700 photos through it, and it was just like, boop, there we go. And I was like, what? How can an old guy like me actually embrace AI technology? You kind of just have to jump in there. I mean, I'm not the youngest in the group either, but I'm not old. So I don't know how old you're talking, but I think, at least for me, the biggest thing that helps with embracing AI, only as an assistant, Let's get that straight. I don't like AI when it's like creating stuff. I am not a fan at all. I'm down for AI as an assistant. Like, help me do a thing, cool. But make a thing for me? No, I'm not about that life. Like all that the Sora stuff that everyone's like pushing now with the video, I can't. I'm not a fan. So really it comes down to necessity. Like if you do events or weddings or something where there's like a lot of photos, you just kind of have to like sit down and look at your life and like, do I want to sit here in front of the computer for hours on end just editing photos? And if the answer is no, like that, at least that's what helped me embrace it. Like I have 5 kids. I have things to do, people to hang out with and stuff, you know? Like I don't want to be sitting here editing forever. So for me, I was quick to like accept like, yeah, this is great because it's editing, it's making the first pass. And now I don't have to do a bunch of stuff. So yeah, Eric, you're really not that much older than I am. Like a couple years, really. So that's how I accepted it, by thinking about my life and what I didn't feel like doing all the time and saving myself time. All right, those photos are done. That was definitely like what, 6-7 minutes. We're gonna download the edits. They're gonna push them to Lightroom and we're gonna jump back into Lightroom. Eric, for what it's worth, I'm relatively young at 30 and absolutely hate how much AI is shoved in our faces. Yes. ImagenAI is basically the only AI tool I use. Yeah, because it's an assistant. It's literally like hiring someone to edit your photos. I'm 44. I love new technology, including AI. Yeah, as long as it's an assistant and culling, I'm like down for it. I like editing, but I don't love culling. But I have a hard time trusting AI to cull. I understand that. I'm still getting used to AI culling for me. Look at those edits come through. So yeah, some of these I'm definitely going to be making adjustments to. And like I said again, for whatever reason right now, the way my profile is set up, it's like a little hot. So again, 95% of the way there. Oh, wow. Y'all saw what it did to this one? Look at that. That's just straight up Imagine. I haven't even touched it yet. That white balance is great. It's a little too cool. Their skin tones are a little off for me. I wanted to warm them up a little bit, but the fact that it like got rid of all that ugly tungsten yellowness is great. Thanks, John. That makes a lot of sense. I work full-time on top of doing photographies. Yeah, so see, like, that's the type of stuff. Oh, Streamlabs is out here. Oh, it got it because it's, it's all caps. I'm sorry, y'all. My bot is, like, picky. All right, let's start going through these photos, tweaking the edits a little bit, probably black and whiting some of them. Yeah, I'll be tweaking these a little bit, but it's really not that far off. So like this one, for me personally, I would warm it up a little bit. Here's our before and after. Sorry, robot. Honestly, like, it's about where I want it. It really is. If anything, turn the orange down a little bit. It's pretty much there. That's what I love about this. Like, I don't even have to edit the photo. Like, it just comes in and it's fine. And it's exactly where I would have it. That's the best part about it. This photo definitely needs a lot more magenta. Also, the straightening is off. Oh, that's why, because there's sections missing. Hey John, I submitted a photo for one of my engagement sessions. Awesome. I'm sure we'll run into it. Need some more headroom there. John, not magenta. I mean, yeah, that's... If I'm ever dealing with a photo, that's like the first thing. I'm like, where's the magenta? There's not enough magenta. So there's our before and after. Actually, maybe it's too much magenta. It's hard to tell. I always have such a hard time. I just want magenta. Have they fixed the Lightroom? Can I generate stuff now? I know when Lightroom first had the... Oh no, it still can't do... It still can't add? Ah, how annoying. So we still gotta use Photoshop. That's fine. There's something that's bothering me about the way the orange looks. I don't know if it's the tone. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little better. Here's another photo. Again, a little bit more magenta in there. A little too hot. We'll add some more shadows. Actually, yeah, I'll keep it there. And then adjust this crop. Wow, look at the straightening. There's our before and after. And like I said, the fact that I'm like just going in and making quick tweaks, it's almost like, again, if I hired an assistant and I'm just double checking their work to make sure it's fine. This photo's a little hard to white balance because the there is so much pink in it. It makes me want to go crazy with the magenta. So this one was clearly flash. The flash was much more direct. Honestly, so it has such a different look than the rest of the photos. Like, if this was me delivering this gallery, just for like some critiques, like I said, I'm going to critique some of these photos as well. I personally would make this one black and white. This shot here in the middle is like the money shot. The lighting's great. This one's okay, but usually I don't like putting my subjects right up on a wall like that. And if you all take photos and you're used to like shooting people, you'll notice that like whenever you tell them to take a photo and there happens to be a wall behind them, for whatever reason, people always like back all the way up into the wall. I don't know why people do that, but that's kind of like their normal thing. And I feel like it's not that it ruins the photo, but like look how much nicer this is with that depth behind her. And again, blurry photos are not like the end all be all of life, but they definitely add some like oomph to a photo, separates your subject. It looks nice, you know? So like if you have someone up on a wall you really have to make it work with the pose and everything. So yeah, this is something like I would just not even bother. And I would just black and white it. It's mainly because of the way the photo looks. And then since her skin is darker, we're gonna pull up the shadows a little bit. But this is even between the flash and then the wall. This is almost exactly what I'm talking about. Like out of these three photos, clearly this one is winning. These other two are like, yeah. As photographers, the main thing we should always be chasing is depth in our images. Really hard to do if your subject is right. Yeah. And honestly, like, it's really just about the composition too. Like, this is not giving me anything. This wall is not helping for anything. Thank you, Trisha, for joining Team Magenta. Make sure to check out some of those private videos. Hey, Light Ridge is in the house. Thanks for joining the stream. Here, let's talk about fixing this. So we see we have our blank areas of the photo now. So as you know, to fix that, we're gonna jump into Photoshop. So right click, and then where is it at? Edit in. Where are you? Here it goes. Edit in. Adobe Photoshop. And so here's my Photoshop. And then it's just a simple lasso your areas in generative fill, and it should be able to handle it. The widespread of that direct flash just isn't great in that situation too. Harsh looking shadows make it look amateurish. Yeah, it's not a good look. And you can do direct flash and make it look good, but in that specific photo, like the pose. Wow, I can't like talk today. The overall pose, the overall composition, everything about it is not totally working for it. Plus add in the flash, and it's not working for it. And again, keep in mind, y'all, all the critiques is not like, I'm not trying to be mean to anyone's photos at all. Just honest opinions, and we all start somewhere. Like, I take bad photos all the time, so like, really, I'm not trying to hate on anyone's work. There we go. Generative fill on everything, and now we just save the photo, and it will save it back into Lightroom. So I quit out of Photoshop, and then here's my finished version now. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, because I've judged for competitions before, right? And the biggest thing with photos is, as a viewer, even as someone who doesn't even take photos, but as a viewer, you shouldn't look at a photo and be like, why? Like, why did they take this? You know? Like, if you're looking at it and you're like, I don't even know why they're taking the photo, like, you've already kind of lost the photo. So yeah, I like this one here. Maybe a more of a side shot, kind of like at this ish angle, so you can see the bump a little bit even more. But this is great. The lighting's great. We got that nice side lighting. This is just like, it just feels like there's no purpose. Shadows just right behind your subject like that make it look flat looking, gives it less depth for sure. Yep. Just wait till he starts adding birds. Yeah, the middle image is great. This is awesome. This looks awesome. So yeah, this is another one again. So first off, looking at the settings, I have no idea what's happening here. This photo is like so grainy, and it doesn't need to be. This is like during the day, I'm assuming. Maybe it was totally dark. This is that auto settings be doing craziness. Like 3200 ISO? Like, why? But There is not enough magenta. That's my biggest gripe here. Warm it up a little bit. And then we're gonna work with these oranges so their skin doesn't look super, super orange. And this is pretty much about where I would have it. Now, first off, especially because everything's so soft, this would look great black and white. So like, here's what it would look like black and white, and it works because it already has like a film-esque look because it's so soft because of the 3200 ISO. But as we all know nowadays, Lightroom has our beautiful denoise, which I use all the time. I be denoising my photos that aren't even like high ISO. So yeah, that's cleaned it up a bit. It's not as bad. I love the light leak from the lens. That looks great. The middle image is gorgeous. Direct flash. On the right is for candids. Yep. Yeah, that's actually a great point. Pose photos with the direct flash is like, you really have to like, the composition has to really be good. Look like auto ISO wrong settings. Yeah, ISO is like losing its mind. When I started wedding photography, I was shooting in aperture priority, and then there was too many times where like weird stuff like this would happen, and that's what made me push to actually start using manual, because it's like I know the range of my camera and I know the range of where I want the settings, and it's really not that hard to set it. Where it's like, that's great that you can do auto and just kind of let it do its thing, but sometimes the cameras just do craziness and I can't. Kind of like that white vignetting on this one. Yeah, on the corners here. Yeah, it looks really cool. It's a great photo. The pose is nice. The reaction's awesome. I'm also a fan of grain in general, so I never use denoise. Yeah, I add grain back into my photos. So I denoise everything and just add grain, which is so backwards, but you know, it is what it is. What do y'all think here? Black and white or color? What do you all prefer? I wish this umbrella wasn't so busy. I think that's the only thing that kind of, not ruins the photo, but it kind of takes away from the moment. Like, if this was a clear or just a black umbrella, it would be nicer. But it's, especially on the color, it's so busy. I feel like it takes away from them a little bit. Denoising then adding grain is wild. I do it all the time too. Black and white. Well, see, I think with the black and white too, it like, the umbrella doesn't distract you as much. I mean, it is very busy still. There's a lot of detail going on, but yeah, I like the black and white. But you miss out on the coolness of the light leak. So yeah, this is almost spot on to my edit. I don't know if there's much to change here. Here goes the before and after. Yeah, this is almost spot on. And I love when I see the photos that come from Imagine and they're just like, boom, there it is. And I look at it and I'm like, great, you did it. Like, that's exactly how I would edit it. Maybe I would pull back the exposure like 0.5 of a stop or something, like just barely. But other than that, like, yeah, like, it looks good. It's fine. Half the time too, like, these tweaks I'm making don't really make that big of a difference. So, and see, like, I look at it again and I'm like, actually, maybe I liked it where it was. Now this one, this is pretty good too, but it's a little overexposed for my liking. So if anything, I'm just gonna pull back the exposure a bit, add one little taste of magenta, control these oranges a tad, and that's it. Like, I didn't even do that much. These are both great shots. It looks like, what are we on? Is that Sony? Good old Sony. Highlights down a pinch. I think most of the time I have my highlights turned all the way down. Currently editing some photos for my GFX that were shot at ISO 12,000 in a super dark reception venue. And the natural grain is beautiful. Yeah, the grain coming off of the Fuji film cameras is so good. I normally don't shoot my stuff that high though. This one is a little too green for my liking. This is LS photography. Here's our before and after. And look, it's just like it tastefully like just boom, edited it real quick. And even though this looks like a darker-ish photo, I think there was no flash used here. But it was like, it's indoors. You can see from the light. This is like an office building looking type room. It's probably not a great looking room. But see, this is what wedding photographers do. You make like the most random thing look great. Oh, there was a flash. Okay. I couldn't tell. I was looking at it like, I feel like there might be a flash, but it almost looks like there's not a flash. Yeah, this looks great. Again, there's not much I would have changed here. I mean, I didn't change much. That reflection is skylighting, bouncing the light back at the flat lay. Huh. Maybe this room wasn't as bad as I thought then. Oh no, see, this is the type of room I thought that flat lay was in. That's what I was saying, like office building with these like normal ceilings like that. Curious for the chat, who here shoots auto ISO on jobs? Not me. Auto ISO is too much. I shoot auto ISO when I'm doing like street photography or shooting just for fun and myself. Here's our before and after. ImagenAI pulling through. This looks great. I honestly wouldn't touch this at all. And again, this is your normal critique of wedding photos, right? Like this stuff here in the corner is always the most annoying, but it ends up in photos at some point in time. That's just what it is. If I was extra, I would get rid of this. Sometimes I don't care because the AI removal stuff is so easy now. A lot of times I'll try to go ahead and just get rid of it. May as well. But yeah, this, let's see. Let's see what Lightroom can do. We may as well just get rid of this whole corner. Full manual for everything, yeah. Full manual just makes more sense. Oh, wow, it did it. Wow, that was impressive. It even like remade the chair here. It looks flat though, like it's not a real chair, but it works. That's crazy. Shortest groom ever. Yep, it was a tiny room and I'm a big dude. You're like, here I am with my zoom. You didn't even have a zoom. Just over there with a 50 mil. This photo would have been very strong if the photographer just moved in a lot closer and filled the frame. I don't know, I like this. I'm fine with this photo. This, like, I would have taken this exact photo. But as LS was saying, he couldn't move a lot. And I understand that when the room's like tiny. That was crazy. That was really good. And see, like, that changes the whole photo. Now it doesn't look so bad. Like, yeah, okay. But a lot of weddings are like this. Like, you're not going to get award-winning photos for every photo. Here goes a first look. Or no, it's not a first look. She's just in the mirror. Got all her girls around her. Looks great. What's this, her sister? It looks like. Here again, here's our before and after. This is Imagine without me touching it. Look at that white balance. Spot on. It looks great. If anything, for this specific photo, I would raise the exposure a little bit just because it's like indoors and kind of dark. But like, Imagine be hitting, y'all. I cannot tell you. Like, the fact that it just did this with the white balance and I don't have to do nothing and it's already edited. Oh my goodness. Wow. John Ivory, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate everything you've helped me tremendously in photography. Thank you so much. That's great to hear that I've helped you out. So let's go ahead and make these tweaks. Just gonna pull this up a little bit. We can pull the shadows too, yeah. Not too much though. Also, since we're here, this probably would look good as a black and white. Bride in the mirror shots always look great with black and white. I don't know why. They just work for me. And pull these shadows up. Color or black and white? What do y'all think? I'm gonna have to go with color on this one. Yeah, I think color's it for this one. Also too, because everyone here in the back is kind of in shadow, you kind of start losing them in black and white. Whereas like color, like, yeah, they're still in shadow, but it's not so bad. I still can't get over the fact that Imagine was able to pull this white balance, like, and it was spot on too. The skin tones look great. Look at this, is horrible. Tungsten. Stephanie, welcome to the stream. Hello. I gotta learn how to white balance correct, like Imagine. I mean, just let Imagine do it for you. Crop the half by, oh yeah, this here. I just leave that stuff. I'm not that particular. That's another reason, like, photographers be taking forever to edit the photos. I'd be like, this is the photo. That's part of what it is. I don't need it to look some kind of perfect way. People be too concerned about composition. It's wedding photography, yo. Oh, here goes these church ones. Here's our before and after. That's pretty good. It's not spot on where I would like it, but again, the white balance in these churches like this are really rough. This is actually probably as great as it could get. But again, the fact that Imagine is doing it by itself and it has it just fine. Hot take, but most of our editing for wedding photos should end with good enough and then go on to the next one. Too many photos are spent 30. Exactly. I agree. Fully agree with that. Because again, too, like, and I talk about this a lot, and I don't know if people really totally get it, but wedding photography, first and foremost, is a service. It's customer service. Like, it's a trade. So I know we want to get all extra artsy about it and all that stuff. Like, the majority of what it is you're doing for your couples is just a straight up trade. So yeah, make the photo look good. Keep a certain amount of quality. Don't just like not care about your photos. But at the end of the day, like, this is not a single photo to change the lives of everyone around. You know, like. So yeah, I totally agree. I don't even think that's a hot take. It's the truth. Yeah, this is about as good as it's getting. White balancing these churches is always the worst. Nikon user here. Please don't hate. Hey, don't. Nikon's great. I was inspired by your work, John, which helped me gain confidence to shoot my first wedding. Yeah, let's go. I had to go down to 3200 on my edits and warm them up a bit. Yeah, I like this where it's at. I'm fine with this. If we're being real, most couples will look at the photo once, smile, and remember the moment, and then move on themselves. That's true as well. My account name won't change, but this is Anthony, also known as Trisha. Oh, hey. Awesome. Thanks for the subscribe. Subbing. Can't wait to join Fuji team with the XT6. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, yeah, I like where these are. I don't think I would change them much. You see, I'm sucking some of the yellow out of it a little bit. It helps in these like weird tungsten. This would look great black and white as well. Here's Imagine with the before and after. I mean, come on, y'all. It's doing great. It is doing great on the white balance. So far, there's been like 3 or 4 photos where Imagine is just slamming it on the white balance. Like, this is not easy white balancing, and it's getting it looking great. So good, y'all. This is crazy. Here, let's see what this one looks like black and white. Create virtual copy. That's hard. I actually like the color better, again. Just curious, white balance, pick her veil? Oh, you're saying here, let me make a virtual copy and we'll do that. You're talking about use the picker? Yeah, see, that's too blue. That's way too blue. I think it's okay here. If anything, like, I could pull it back a little bit. But I think it's good where it's at. Imagine did a great job. Yeah, Imagine did a really great job at balancing, like, the warmth, but also, like, getting everything. Adam made me curious. Do we think we'll finally see a new X-Trans? They've been dropping so many cameras. Like, I'm at a loss, honestly. Sometimes it just feels like there's too many cameras coming out too quick. Like, how old is the X-T5? I guess it's 2 years old, 3. Here we go with our before and after. So the only thing I don't like is this photo's a little too hot, just a tiny bit too hot, and yet it's too cool. We need to warm this up a bit. I actually like where it looks on the left a little bit more. But honestly, it's not that far off where I would have put it. There's been a lot of consumer level cameras, which is great. It almost seems like if you kind of follow the releases of the cameras, it's almost like they start with the pro stuff first, and then they hit a bunch of consumer things and then they'll do it again maybe. I don't know. There's no speculation on my end, and I'm sure y'all are probably in the chat like, oh, he probably knows about. They honestly, just to be real with you all, they don't tell us anything. If they do tell us early, it's literally like 2 to 3 days before the thing launches. So like they don't give us extra information just because I'm a Fuji ambassador. So but yeah, just watching the releases, you know, we had like the XT5s, and then some GFX stuff came out, the 102, and then the 100S2, and then the 100RF came out, and then after that it was like the X half and the EX whatever and something else kind of all dropped. X106. It's like the smaller, like, you see what I'm saying? They're like pro level, you know, XT5, XH2S, XH2. And then it was like point and shoot, the 106, and they gave that some space. And then it was like GFX stuff. And then it was all the smaller like X half and the XE5, I think it is. I can't even keep up. The XT50, you see what I'm saying? Like it's almost like they go through this like wave. The EOS R6 is too huge for travel. Yeah, exactly. I think I'll know what your guess here will be, but we'll probably never see a 50 megapixel GFX. Yeah, I don't think so. Especially after how impressive the 100 RF was. I don't think they'll do that. Like there's almost no point. Because they can make a 100 megapixel camera just as fast and just as small and light. So there's no point in a 50 megapixel. Oh, nice. Here's our before and after. Again, it's a little hot. So one thing you'll notice with my preset, and this is just my personal preset, so it's not even Imagine. I kind of suck the life out of the yellows. So since there's so much yellow in this photo, I'm actually gonna saturate those so that they don't seem so dead. And that's just something I personally end up having to do. The same with the red. I don't want to saturate it, but you see how my reds are kind of orangey? So I'm gonna pull it down to make it more red. There. And that's just my personal preset. That's something I have to do all the time. So like, I have done a fair amount of Chinese weddings, and a lot of times they'll wear red. So I can't have the red looking all orange. Like, it just doesn't, it's the worst. So whenever I'm doing that, I have to go in and like tweak the reds and make sure they make sense. But yeah, the Imagine edit looks great. Again, there's not much to change. I don't know, I hope so. I can't wait to own a Fuji. I'm about to buy the XT5, but I think I'll wait patiently. For travel, it's a dream to have a small camera. Yes, the XT5 was great. So I'm going to Japan again in like a week or so. And so this time I'm gonna be bringing my GFX 100 RF with me, which it's bigger than the XT5, but it's not that much bigger. And then again, because it has that 100 megapixels built into it, this is gonna be like a great little street photography kind of point and shoot carry. So I'm really looking forward to using it. Actually, it'll be my first time using it for travel. There's also a balloon festival I'm going to with the family coming up here like in a weekend or so. So I'm gonna bring this also because, especially for like a balloon thing, like I can't get close to anything. And like, okay, yeah, I can get like a zoom lens and use the 102, but it's huge. Like this thing is only a tiny bit heavier than the XT5, but it also has the megapixels like the 102, so I can like pop in if I need to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a try for some more casual. And I might do a video on the settings I have for when I'm using it for travel and casual kind of use. So this is gonna be my go-to. We'll see how that goes. Can't you shoot in lossless compressed? Wait. It's just huge files for the 100 meg. They're really not that big. It depends on what you're shooting. So I'm shooting in compressed at 14-bit color. When I'm using this in Japan, because I have 1 TB cards this time, I am gonna use it single shot in 16-bit color. But the main reason I'm doing that, again, first off, it's not a wedding. I'm not gonna be taking that many photos. And second off, I want it to shoot more like a film camera, which is why I'm gonna do the single shot rather than like burst mode. So may as well get the 16. But yeah, just to give y'all an idea, let's put this into perspective, right? So I have this set to shoot, I think compressed. Let's double check. Yeah, so I have it on lossless right now at 16-bit color with 1 TB cards in here, and I'm getting 7,000, like 7,500 photos. And if I switch it to uncompressed, that only gives me 4,800. So yeah, the files are huge. That's on a terabyte card, y'all. 4,000 photos, like that's a lot, but if you really think about it, if I put a terabyte card in my XT5, I would get like, I would probably get the max. It'd be like 900, 999, you know, like it would just go the whole way. What max damage in Final Fantasy, if y'all know, the damage limit. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot it lossless. Honestly, maybe I will shoot it uncompressed. I just don't know if I want the files that huge. Lossless is actually pretty good. You're not losing much. Love the GFX RF. Can you post some posts, stories of the shots? Oh yeah, I'm planning on trying to like post more this time around. A lot of times I just like don't post. It's gonna be a short trip, which is gonna be unfortunate, but here's our before and after. Again, imagine coming through with the white balance. If anything, maybe I would warm it up a little bit. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, okay. Oh, no, it looks fine. It looks fine. I'm sorry for questioning you, Imagine. Imagine's like, I did it already, bro. It's fine. Yeah, no, it looks fine where it is. Yep, I shoot full raw when I shoot engagements, but wedding, it's def loss. Yeah. Like, weddings, I shoot straight up compressed. Like, I don't even, the compressed is just fine. Nice. This is black and white. If anything, we can crop in on it a little more too. Yeah, I like that crop much better. Cute. This is a great little session. This is too green. I need some more magenta in my life. Just a bit. Just a little bit. I'm gonna take some of this yellow out. That seems good there. I like a center edit, so I'm gonna center her up a little bit more. There's our before and after. Again, I didn't have to tweak much, but let me hit a quick BRB, a very quick one. I'll be right back. All right. There's our before and after. Yeah, again, y'all. Imagine's like 95% accurate. Like I can't tell you. And especially if you don't have such a like, my editing style is kind of unique, I guess, or it's like super stylized. If you don't have a very stylized edit, your edit's like super simple and like very straightforward. Honestly, at that point, Imagine's probably like 98 to 100% correct because like there's not so much to change. Nice. This actually might work as black and white. Here's our before and after. I guess this is golden hour. See, this is why I don't like golden hour. It just like, the colors are, there's something about the color, like it's so much orange and so much red. It just doesn't, it doesn't look good to me. I'm just black and whiting it. I'm not even gonna bother with the white balance. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I think I like it better in black and white. Hold on, let's do both. I can save the sky, darken it up a bit. That's too dark. What do y'all think? Black and white or color? You know what I think half of it is for me too? It's because the frame is split between this like brown tan tones here and then just blue here. Personally, I'm not a fan. I kind of like the black and white better. It goes well too with this like city feel, in my opinion. Composition and lighting isn't great to me. Yeah. I think it's kind of what I was talking about with like this sectioning off. For me, it's about the truth of the day. Was it that warm? I see what you're saying. So you're saying basing your white balance choice off of the actual day and how the colors really look. Here's the same type of photo. We have our before and after again. His shirt is a problem for me. Doesn't play well with the other colors. Yeah, it's something about the time of day, I think. You see how accurate Imagine is though? Like, it's gonna edit your stuff the same, which is nice. Yeah, I think I'm preferring the black and white. The tones are so different. His facial expression is boring. He's not looking at the camera. I don't mind the not looking at the camera. Do like the edits better on this one. I'm a quick black and white. I make the decision real quick and I'm just like, yep, I'm good. Nice. Usually something this symmetrical, I'll hit with the auto to make sure everything's like totally straight. I think the only downside to this photo is that this purse here is just kind of like, it's kind of ruining everything. Other than that, I like this a lot. Here's our before and after. Again, it was exposed well. Everything looks good, so there's not much needed to be done here. I wonder if playing with fire here, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, her elbow's gone. Ah! Where's my arm? Oh, the thin strip of white. I mean, you can crop that out. That's not even a big deal. Or you could use the AI regenerative. This one's a little hot and it's a little green, but here's our before and after. We also need to turn down the luminance on their skin a little bit. Yeah. That flash was hitting really hard on this photo. It's kind of overexposed. Like, luckily it's not all the way, nothing's blown out, but it's super hot. Same thing here. Oh no, we missed the focus. We missed the focus. No. There's no way to save this either. I can't remember, what is it, Topaz? I've used Topaz in the past to try and save stuff. I don't know if I even feel like doing that. Do I have it still? I do. Let's see. It's not going to be able to save it though. It's totally off. The problem is not even like, there's not a single person who's in focus. The whole thing is just off. I don't normally use Topaz, so I'll be honest with you, I don't really know much about it. I really only got it for the times where this happened to me, because it happens to the best of us. I think they have an enhancement, which is the recover faces. And then on the right here, yeah, it's going to be how it saves it. And yeah, that looks horrible. But yeah, if you absolutely had to do this, well, hold on. Let me actually edit the photo first. I'll see. So I already messed up. They done created a TIFF. Cause yeah, again, it's a little hot. Turn down the luminance on the skin a little bit. Okay. So we'll do this again. I'm gonna edit in Topaz. And then we're gonna recover faces. And then I'm just gonna, that's it. We'll export it back to Lightroom. So here it is. If anyone's ever used Topaz before. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I mean, it's like, it's not great. It's better than nothing, though. Like, if this was the only photo you had, you know, this is the only option. Like, that's what you would have to do. But yeah, this, like, they just totally regenerated this with AI. The hair is all messed up. It's like it's remaking their faces. They look like video game characters now. Anyone else notice Aperty is pretty much dead? I heard about that. I was kind of looking at Aperty at one point too. Here's our before and after. This one needs magenta and warmth. It's too... Actually, what is this one missing? The actual color green? Is that what's missing? Let's save the sky. Just a tiny bit. Just got ImagenAI downloaded. Love how fast it just assisted and edited the photos. I should have used this sooner. It definitely would have saved me hours staring at it. Yeah, exactly. All you can do is dehaze a pinch up the clarity. Oh yeah, try to sharpen it some more. Oh wait, is that the actual photographer? I mean, that's not bad actually. Like, I would, if this was my only option, I would definitely deliver it. I guess the camera just straight up missed the focus on this one. Cause yeah, this photo doesn't work. The whole composition is messed up. Mainly because the focus is off. I mean, it really would depend on what's trying to be achieved for the photo, but yeah. This is another, you can't fix it. Can't fix it. Here's our before and after with Imagine. I don't... Straighten it more like that, maybe. Back with LS in the wedding photos. Here's our before and after. If anything, I crop in on this a little bit. I like a good wide shot, but I want to see a little bit around everybody. Bounced it on the ceiling. How to make it right for next time. Which photo are we talking about? Are we still talking about this? Is that the photo we're asking about? Because I'm happy to give some feedback. It's also helpful for everybody to kind of see too. Okay, well, I'll come back. This looks great. This actually might work as a black and white too. F4 and focus on the subject in the forefront. Yeah. Yeah, because they were kind of in a in-depth, like, there was too many layers. So definitely at least F4. They were indoors though, so it would have been super dark, but on the same end, the flash would have been fine. I don't think bouncing the flash off the ceiling was fine. It was more so the settings that were the issue. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I like a good black and white. I'm a big fan. I think the color one here works the best, but I like adding my black and whites in there. Thank you, sir. This was one of my favorite shots. First engagement in 6 months. Nice. Yeah, definitely color on this one. Black and whites are always a little half and half when you're like around so much greenery. They work, but I don't know, the green really stands out, so cute. I mean, yeah, there's not much to do to this. Here's Imagine with that before and after. This one's a little hot. And maybe can add a tiny bit more warmth. We can just suck some of that orange out though. And because this is a portrait shot, like, I would just crop in on it a little bit. We don't need all that extra space. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward photo, so the color's gonna look great. Now, personally, when it comes to this photo, I wouldn't have like aimed them in front of the window. And this seems like one of those like cases where the people themselves are the ones who set up the shot. But that's when you have to like override them with like, I'm a photographer. And be like, this is not great. Because yeah, I don't like shooting right in front of windows, especially when you don't have a flash. Then you get this like extra blown out window. And again, it happens. I do it a lot myself. If I can avoid it, I try to. Like, I don't just do that all the time. Same photo here. See, this one is not as bad. The only problem here is those can lights up above them coming right down. They're not the prettiest lights in the world. Here's our before and after. Yeah, this was way overexposed. I'm assuming this was auto settings because the fact that you're down at 100 shutter, but you're taking photos of people tells me that, I mean, there's two things. Either you told them not to move and you knew you could get the shot, or it's auto settings. Especially at 1600 ISO and it's overblown. That looks like the camera making those choices. But yeah, this looks like it was like a rehearsal dinner or something. Like, this is the family of the bride and groom. So they're fine photos. And they probably were off the cuff, which is why they're like this. So like the critiques are half and half. Yeah, this is the whole family. This is definitely a little too hot. And that's what I was saying before. Imagine sometimes like it just makes the photos a little too hot for my liking. But again, that's because of my Imagine profile. It's not because of Imagine itself. I wonder if Lightroom can handle straightening this. Yeah. We'll take it. Maybe this wasn't auto settings. This is brave. 1/100 for group photos. It's a little soft. It's fine though. Again, I would deliver it. And then like we saw with the topaz, if we really wanted to, you know, we could just throw it in a topaz and deal with it there. Maybe crop it a little. Get rid of that table. Yeah. There. Again, pictures are for pictures, right? We shouldn't be so concerned about perfect photos all the time. Sometimes you just need to get the photo. Cute. This will look great in black and white. Here's the before and after coming straight out of Imagine. Probably turn exposure down just a tad. And then while we're here, let's do our... Yeah. Yep, I love a good, like, bride in the dress, black and white photo. What do y'all think? Color or black and white? Yeah, I'm a fan of the black and white. Here goes our boy wearing the moneymaker. No. It's like a gun holster, but for your wallet. This is also a little too hot. Pull back on that a little bit. Here's our before and after. And I think gotta turn down that luminance a little bit as well. How do I pop my chat out again? Oh no! Da-na-na-na. Missed the shot. And it's too blurry. Like, I'll use a blurry photo like this and just black and white it, but this one is too far off. This one is all the way off. I'm sorry. It's the worst when you miss a shot like this. These are hard though, because with all this stuff flying around, your camera sometimes will focus on, like, what is that, corn? Like, your camera will focus on the corn. This looks like it's just off though. Like, it doesn't even look like the camera was trying to focus on anything. I'm not even sure how that happened. That's the worst. But yeah, an example. So an example for you all. So like, my couple did this impromptu bubble exit. It really wasn't a part, like, we weren't planning on doing it. And so like, these are all the photos I delivered. But some of them they're a little soft. And it is what it is. I think like, yeah, like this one isn't totally on. This one's kind of soft. But it's like, it's okay, you know? You get what you can, and if they're a little soft, you can black and white them. But the main thing is you want to at least have hit the shot in the first place. And that's the main problem here with this photo. This one's just, it's just off. Like, it's all the way off. You can't save this. Like, maybe if it's all you had, you can black and white it, but yeah. It's unfortunate. Oh. So I'm gonna assume you were the second photographer here. And this looks like the front of a hotel, like where people can drive through. But the biggest thing here is I don't think I would have aimed this photo this way. And it's not even because you're looking at a parking lot and cars. It's mainly because this area behind them is lit full sunlight while they're in shade. And so it just becomes like, I mean, yeah, look at the original photo, which you did a great job underexposing it so that you could save the background to a degree, but it just becomes the absolute worst as far as editing is concerned. And I've seen photographers do this pretty often where, like, there's multiple directions you could be shooting in, but they pick the direction where, like, there's so much extra light behind whoever you're taking the photo of. And there's just, like, there's all these cars. It's just not a good look. And I'm not going to sit here and try to remove all that with Lightroom. Also, there's nothing wrong with asking guests to move out the way. These look like the groomsmen. I would have told them to move. Like, I would have been like, you're in my shot. Can you scoot out? Now, Lightroom might be able to handle it. I know they have this new distraction removal. So if I do people, let's see if it'll grab it. Wow, it didn't get it? Maybe they thought it was part of the photo. So, you know, like, and then now you got to deal with all of this. It's just too much. So, like, it's great that Lightroom has all this removal stuff now. But as a photographer, we can't get lazy. We need to do what we need to do to still get the shots that we need. So, like, if it's telling people to move out the way, like, you got to do it. And I'll say personally, I don't like having to tell people to move, but it's kind of part of the job, you know? Yeah, this is not... I think that's probably the best. And then, yeah, I'm not even going to try to do the cars. And, you know, I'm just critiquing what I'm seeing. For all I know, everything behind them is like the absolute worst, which is why you chose not to do that. But at the end of the day, if you don't have to shoot towards everything that's like not ideal, try not to. Oh, nice. This looks great. Before and after. Didn't have to do anything. That's like a 100% edit. Like, this looks great. I don't have to do nothing to that. Yeah, this one wouldn't get edited or delivered for me. Yeah, like, I would deliver it if I absolutely had to. But yeah, it's just that light background and all the cars. And that's one of the harder things, like, photographers, especially when they're newer to wedding photography, like, you have to really think about the background of your photo. And then also think about, like, how it's going to edit. Like, you have to think about these things before you take the photo. And I see a lot of photographers who just don't. They're just, like, taking pictures. And then they get home to do post-production, and it's just, like, a tragedy, you know? This needs a little more magenta. Other than that, it looks great as well. Here's our before and after. Maybe we can dock down the orange a little bit. But yeah, you really have to, like, you have to look at your surroundings and then ask yourself, like, is this the best choice? But again, for all I know, that really was the best choice. If it was, that's unfortunate, but I see a lot of photographers just get caught up in the moment. I mean, wedding days are stressful, you know? People are asking you for all these photos. There's so much going on. You don't have any time to do whatever you need to do. Maybe the couple just happened to be there. So those are the only options. This is, you were a second photographer and you just happened to take this photo. But see, with her dress fanned out like this, it looks like you set it up. So really, whatever's behind them must be the absolute worst. Or the photographer just wasn't thinking and they're like, oh, can you take a picture at the back of the dress? And instead of saying like, no, let's not do it here, you just took the shot. Because I know that was the case when I started. I was so scared to say no to anything. You know, it's like a wedding. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? They ask you for stuff and you know it's not good, but you're like, I don't want to disappoint the couple. And I think that's a real problem for photographers, wedding photographers specifically, when they're starting out, is not being able to say no. Like, I'm the photographer and I know what's better and you're not going to want this. Can you tight crop and then try the blue option? The blue option? Are we, which photo are we talking about? Oh, do you mean the blur? It's just not good. This is so like, it's too much. Also too, it's already blurred. You're only gonna be able to do but so much. So yeah, like, first off, this photo was taken for the dress, so a tight crop would defeat the purpose. And then, yeah, blur only looks good at a certain amount. I found you can only set it to like 15 to 20. Anything more than that, and it starts looking totally artificial. Yeah, it's not gonna. Because, yeah, this looks horrible. That looks like trash. Also, you know what the problem is? The thing with the blur is that normally when you have the background bokeh on the photo, you also have compression happening. So just chunking this up like that, not only can you kind of see where it's not perfectly on, it also just doesn't look real, because with that much blur, there should be more compression happening. So yeah, the photo was taken for the dress. So there's nothing you can do to save it. It just kind of is where it is. Also comes down to good communication and building trust with your couple before the wedding day even starts. Exactly. You should be able to tell them what's good and what's not, and them to say we trust. Exactly. I talk about that all the time. I don't think newer wedding photographers realize how important everything before the wedding is. Because yes, if you get your couple on your team and they understand you know what you're doing and you know the best for them, like when their guests make suggestions, when their bridal party makes suggestions, or, oh, let's take a photo here, and you're like, no, and the couple can be like, yeah, no, John said no. That's what you need. Because if not, people are going to have you running around taking all kinds of crazy, they're not photographers. People, especially nowadays, everyone has an iPhone now, so they think they know a great photo, and they think they know that, oh, I took it on my iPhone, it looks great. Bro, your iPhone is editing the photos as you take them. Like, there's certain things you just can't do. This photo's a little hot. And this is what I was saying, like, the way I have my profile set up, it keeps overexposing just a tad. But this is also a great edit. I don't need to change this much. It looks good. I love Imagine for that. The fact that the stuff comes through and it just already looks great. But yeah, you should have rapport. You should have a decent rapport with your couples. So on the wedding day, you can be like, hey, we need to go to a different location for this photo. And then photos like the one with the car, that should only happen if it's like There's no other options, and it is what it is. Here goes our before and after from Imagine. This is a fun little photo. The colors, she looks a little red, but maybe that's just how it was. I think, wasn't there another photo of them? Is that a spray tan? Yeah. Did she get sunburned? Maybe it's a spray tan. It looked, the tone of her skin looks off. It probably is a spray tan. See if I can desaturate the reds. Maybe. This is one of those horrible white balances. May as well black and white it. Like, that's rough. Half the problem is the white balance that was on the original photo in the first place. Like, again, this is where you should have fixed it in camera. Yeah. Even black and white might not save it, though. Goodness. That's rough. Cute. A little hot. I wonder what auto looks like. Yeah, we'll take it. Maybe HSL can help with the red tones. Yeah, I did a little bit of that. It wasn't really hitting the way we needed it to. Here's our before and after. Here goes our photo from before. This is great, y'all. If anything, again, let's warm it back up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then what I would do is drop the orange a little bit in the HSL. And we can get rid of some of the yellow too. This is gorgeous. Is the crop, is it? No, okay. This looks great. 3200 on the ISO, so let's add the denoise on there. And then I usually dock my denoise back to 35. Like, I don't need it. If there's a little grain, it's whatever. I just want to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, this looks, look at that before and after. This looks so good. Again, the photo was good in itself, but imagine saving that white balance. Did a great job. Curious what happens if you dehaze the background. Let's see. I normally don't do a lot, so I guess I'll just select the background and then dehaze. Ah! Oh, wow. You know, I never play around with the dehaze enough. Would you straighten the pillar? You talking about like the vertical straightening? Because it's already straightened, and this is straightened enough for me. But I mean, yeah, I could, I don't know, like that. Do you use a gray card to help you with white balance, or do you kind of eyeball it? I usually shoot auto white balance during the wedding and just let the camera do it. Now, in this case, because again, so these aren't my photos, just for everyone to understand. In this case, with all this yellow orangey-ish, I might have set my white balance in camera, but honestly, it's really not that bad. So yeah, it really depends on the situation. Oh, yeah, nothing crazy, just a bit to get the cross straight vertical in the center. Yeah. I said the white balance before the ceremony. Wish I would have gone a bit cooler. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little warm. This is a great photo. This is absolutely amazing. So good. Their expression is great too. And yet the colors make, it really does look like a painting almost. What a great photo. I mean, it probably would look good in black and white too. Like, it's just good. The color one's definitely it though. The tones of everything really makes it has like a painting-esque. And it's the church that has it looking like that, but goodness. I actually love the warm look. Isn't that what Gen Z is all about? I don't know, are they? I had a wedding. I didn't book it because my tones they tend to be more cool. And she wanted like a more warm look, so maybe that is true. Same wedding here. Decent photo. This was like the absolute worst lighting it looked like. Probably midday. Let's see if the timing's on it. Oh no, it says 4 p.m. That light is hitting. The next one I was hoping for critique felt a bit rushed shooting it. But in retrospect, feel like the pose could have been tweaked. Yeah, the direct sun is rough. I mean, I think first off, you did a great job dealing with the direct sunlight. Because what's nice is no one's face is like totally blown out. A lot of times, in my opinion, like most of the time at a wedding, the bride's going to be like the more important one that you want to photograph. And so I like that her face is kind of shaded here. And since you can't fully see the groom, it doesn't matter that the light is like all up on him like that. Came to pop in, it's Quinn! Hitting us with the rhymes straight off the bat. No, I'm just Welcome to the chat. Haven't seen you in a minute. But yeah, I think this is great. I might have shot it a little bit wider. It's not horrible. I don't think it's horrible. Usually portraits are rushed though. Like, I know exactly what you mean. Portraits be rushed. It's always the worst. It's like, it's probably the most stressful part being a wedding photographer. when you run out of time, and usually time runs short. So the time that has the most stress in it is portraits, and everyone's trying to rush you, but you're like, I don't have photos of the couple yet. This is important. And they're like, I don't care, the reception's about to start. And you're like, oh my God. Can I take these photos, please? Here was our before and after. It's the most stressful part. Yeah, every time. It is the most stressful part. Once you get through with it and you get to the reception, it's really not so bad. So, yeah, definitely need to practice my posing and get a routine down. The biggest thing for me is like, if I'm running out of time like that, then I'm pretty much going to pose on the way, and I'm not going to do stuff like this where they're sitting, because this takes a while. But yeah, I think this is a cute shot. I think it works. With all this columning, it could be black and white too, but I think it's fine. Again, I know that feeling where you like take a shot and you're like, but I don't think it's horrible. I think it's cute. The couple probably liked it. Then I would have done some nice classic standing stuff or something. A straight on shot with the columns in the back behind them or something. I've had a videographer decide to like rush my couple's portraits. They gave me 5 minutes. Wow. I hate when it's like that. Where like the videographer's like, I need all this time. Here's the before and after. This is Imagine trying its best. This was a hard case though. I think we need more magenta. And then we need to warm it up a bit. Yeah. So yeah, again, not every photo is going to come through perfectly, but the fact that it can edit the majority of my photos and get them to where I need them to be is the main reason why I use it on all my stuff. My computer's on the other side of the room. You're like, I'm not getting up. Yeah, we have Woo submitting some great photos. This, I generally will always black and white. Obviously, this window's kicking a little hard, but... yeah, these photos for me are always black and white photos. That's just what it is. Beautiful shot. Oh my goodness, the landscapers. I hate this time of year because they come through with their blowers every other day because there's leaves everywhere, and you're just like, I'm trying to record a video, bro. I can't have y'all blowing in the background the whole time. So here's our before and after right out of Imagine. Ooh, I think the magenta's a little much. Yeah, it's a little too cool. This looks like it's a an entrance, so walking down the aisle. Oh yeah, this white balance is rough. See if we can take some of the yellow out too. Oh goodness. Okay, I think that's good. Is that what? Yeah, I think that's good. Because again, we talked about it before, but I could try to white balance it like this, but I don't think, yeah, it's gonna make it super blue. And that's not gonna work either. Yeah, black and white is always my safe option when the white balance is crazy. I don't like using it all the time, but on the same end, it's like sometimes the colors are just weird and it takes away from the photo. Every time I backlight someone, I'm like, what would John do? Do a whole stream where we give John the hardest photos to edit. Bunch of backlit photos with like atrocious white balance that couldn't have been helped. You know, like it's no one's fault. It's not the photographer's fault. It's just that's just the white balance, you know. This one's much better. Here's our imagine before and after. If anything, I would pull down the exposure a little bit. Maybe, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's pull this orange back a little bit too. Can we also talk about how crazy this wedding season has been? I mean, so I had no weddings to start out with at all. Now I've booked like 16 for next year. Wow. Yeah, luckily I haven't had anything crazy, but again, I have no weddings this year. I have like 4 or 5 left for the rest of the year. That's crazy. Y'all were brawling at the wedding? Throwing hands? This for me is a black and white photo as well. It's nice in color, but it's gonna hit in black and white. Story time with Quinn. Oh, actually DM me. Oh, I was waiting for story time. They wanted me to take a photo of like 7 people in the doorway of the couple's parents' home. And then you said, no, I ain't taking that photo. And then she was like, word. And then y'all started boxing. Oh, is this GFX? It is. Yeah. Oh, wow. It has the actual information of the lens on it. How cool. This looks great. Here's the before and after. Wow, that's crazy. She just like straight pushed you out of the way because you were trying to take the photo in a moment. That's the worst. Oh yeah, these look great. That softness is awesome. Yeah, look at that. And so see, Walter, since we were talking about it, so normally what I would do, right, is so when I export my photos, let's put it into my downloads for the moment. They go into Evoto, and I have a preset in there that adds sharpening and grain. Oh, really? I hate when it does this. And it does this to me all the time. And then I gotta log in. And it's a whole ordeal. And then they gotta send me a code. But then for whatever reason, the email doesn't come through correctly. Oh, it did this time. Thank goodness. But now that I had to log in, now the photo's not inside of Evoto, so now I gotta export it again. So yeah, I'll export it from Lightroom and then have it open the JPEG up in Evoto. And then I have a preset in here that adds sharpening and grain. So I have a black and white one that really adds that like grainy look to it. And I do that for all my black and white photos, just really get them. And that's kind of my process every time. Yeah, I might have to start doing this. This looks great. John, are you still using the other software for preset? Yeah, I was in shock. All I could do was like just keep taking photos. Yeah, people be kind of the worst at weddings sometimes. Did you edit the close-up of the bride's arm? Oh, that was you too? It was. I didn't even notice. I just like immediately black and whited it. This looks great. Yeah, I love the film look of it. Goodness, you're gonna like make me have to do it myself now. Here's our before and after. So good. What is it? What's it for you? So Evoto does retouching. It's like AI retouching. Technically, the way the program works, it could totally replace Lightroom. But how I use it right now is because I sharpen my photos on the JPEG stage, not inside of Lightroom. So you'll see on my edits, and I have Imagine set up to do this for me. Where's my sharpening? Yeah, my sharpening's always set all the way to 0. So let's use our winning photo so far. This boy right here is so good. So we'll use this as an example, right? So I have this photo. Did I denoise this one? Let's actually crank it back up to 50. Maybe not. So I have this photo. I like the way it looks. I'm ready to go. And so no sharpening is done inside of Lightroom. So I export it and then I set it to open in another application. So it'll go straight to Evoto. And so now Lightroom has applied a little bit of screen sharpening, but not that much sharpening. And so then I have these presets I created inside of Evoto that not only add sharpening and grain, but it also does photo retouching stuff. So like skin smoothing, removing pimples and stuff like that. So I have it already set up. So I turn that on. And so it applies that. It added a little bit of contrast too. And so you'll see it added a light amount of noise or grain. And it sharpened the photo. But it also did some skin retouching here. So you see it took care of like her under eye bags a little bit. And I can click here. And so see, it shows me what faces it sees. And then I can set different stuff here. So like the freckle and acne, I could turn this like way up. I can do the eye bags. And see, like it really removed it now. You see that? Dark circles. And then for male, I can also do the same kind of stuff. Do we have glasses? Remove glasses glare. And so yeah, it like retouches my photos and also adds the grain and sharpening. So it really like finishes the photo for me. And so that's really my workflow. It's Imagine for the editing, the color editing, the culling. And then I go through, double check it in Lightroom, then export it to Evoto, and Evoto is like the final touch, sharpening the photo, adding a bit of grain. Do you rely on the histogram while shooting? I don't. I'm kind of the worst. I just don't use the histogram at all. Here's our before and after here. It's pretty straightforward. Quinn is back on her normal account. She went across the room to get her computer. I'm sorry about your story. That's the worst. Yeah, I don't do sharpening or much retouching at all. So probably not for me. Yeah, it's a great software. This looks great. Here's our before and after. This is also another straightforward photo, so pretty easy for an edit. Beautiful photo. Can you explain the settings used for that one? So again, I didn't take the photo, but let's see. Let's see what we have for the settings. So first off, it's in like a church. And so let's look at the before and after. And so clearly, I'm assuming, because a lot of times, especially these like large Catholic churches, you can't use flash. So that's why the ISO is up at 3200. The photographer also chose 3.5 on the f-stop to make sure that everything's nice and sharp, which a lot more photographers should do. Or you know what? Maybe that was just because the zoom hit it there. No, it's not. It's a 2.8. That's probably what they did. Stopping down just like one stop or so on your f-stop is usually something you should do. I personally don't, but I definitely should do it more often. And yeah, 1/250 of a second is safe, so you don't get motion blur. And it's as low as 1/250 is like the lowest you can get your shutter so that you don't get motion blur. So this is, and see, this is again, whenever I talk about settings making sense, this is what I'm talking about. This was not auto settings. These totally make sense. It's dark. So 1/250 is as low as you can get the shutter without risking motion blur. Great. f3.5, because even though it's dark, I want to make sure it's sharp enough and I hit the photo and it looks great. Awesome. And then ISO 3200 because it's dark. Like, it's the only option I have, especially having to put the camera at f3.5. And that's why the photo looks great. This photographer knew exactly what they were doing. They got exactly what they wanted, and it's just a beautiful photo. That was 50, yep, 50 mil. It's so good. Like it's great. Nice. This is a nice little detail shot. Might straighten it a bit. So the shoes, yeah. Before and after, straightforward on this one as well. This would also work as black and white. Oh, which 50 mil? Well, I think it was Sony. No, it was a zoom. Yeah, the 24-70 f2.8 L. Oh no, that's Canon. Which camera was this? EOS R6 II, I guess. Great photo. The background is so blue. Here's our before and after. Oh, the background was just blue like that in the first place. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. First off, this doesn't feel straight to me. We're gonna select our background, and we're gonna warm up the background to match. Yeah, that's better. Add some magenta in there. It looks like the photo was blown out. Yeah, the sky was totally blown out. You can tell because the clouds, when you try to save them, they look all weird like that. If anything, yeah, turn the highlights back up so the sky doesn't look crazy. And just leave it blown out like that. There we go, much better. Y'all see how big a difference it made warming up the background? Photo looked crazy before, everything was all blue. Sometimes you gotta do that. Here go those backlit photos. Very harsh time of day. Yeah, it's not great for lighting, but I think a flash was used or something. There's some kind of lighting going on. We got Jamaica in the house. Welcome to the stream. That is flash face. That will bring up the shadows in the back. Yep. These are the same photos? Yeah. I'm not editing both of these. They're basically the same photo. This one looks good to me. This is fine. Yeah. Straightforward edit. Do you soften the skin in ImagenAI or wait till you get to Evo? I do that in Evoto. Mainly because, oh, well, I guess, yeah, Imagine does have those settings. I haven't used them before. I just do it in Evoto. But you can do all that in Imagine as well. This is black and white. Yeah, this is black and white to me. I mean, the tones do look nice though. But I prefer black and white for this one. Oh, this is George. Submitted 30 photos. Maybe warm it up a tad. Here's our before and after. A little overexposed, but it's workable. I absolutely love the way you edit the photos. They're so good. Oh, thank you. I need the name of this track. It's called Smart Cube by Joby. Actually, I like Joby a lot. He has a lot of his music on, is it Tubies? No. He has a lot of his music on like the sites you can use for live streaming and YouTube and stuff, but he also has his stuff in, I'm sure, Spotify. I don't use Spotify or Apple Music. I'm surprised those high. I guess they're blown out. I would have backed her away from the window a little bit. Like, it's a little too close to the stuff already being blown out. Too much backlight. I don't like backlight. This one's great. Here's our before and after. And again, all these photos were already edited by ImagenAI. So I'm just going back now, critiquing photos, and then like tweaking them a little bit. Is the X-T3 still a good camera? It is. Honestly, sometimes I'd be regretting getting rid of my X-T3s. I love that camera. X-T3 was my favorite XT so far. Beautiful. Here's our before and after. Maybe we can save this guy? Yeah, we'll take it. That's fine. Yeah, imagine my profile is always just like, it's a little hot. There's our before and after again. And then, you know, sometimes if you want to be a little extra, you can get rid of stuff like that if you see it. Cute. This one could also work as black and white. It's good there. It looks like someone's head poking in. Now we have AI for everything. Makes it so easy to get rid of stuff. Here's our before and after. It's a little overexposed here. I had to ask my brides nowadays. I removed a mole from a bride back in January, and she had something to say about it. Yeah, that's always hard. It's a hard call. I usually, if any of my couples have anything that's very just like blatantly obvious on their face, or like a scar or something, I usually just bring it up and I'll ask them like if they want it removed or something. And it's kind of hard to ask that question, but I've learned that most people are not going to get offended by that because they see that like you care enough to try to do something about it rather than just like take the photos and wonder. So the biggest thing here with most of these photos, especially for this section here, is they were way overexposed, which is why we like totally lost the sky and we can't save it. Which the sky has that like nice cloudy day type of sky, which you could have, it looks nice in photos, but like there's nothing we can do here. Like a wedding I recently did. You know, like it's like this kind of where it's like a little overcast, but if you shoot it too overexposed, you like totally lose it. So you have to know your camera and its dynamic range, because see here it seems like I overblew it, but I didn't, which is why I was able to save it and it came out like this. So that's the biggest thing, like, to keep an eye on, is to watch out for like overblowing your sky too much. I'm not a big fan for underexposing, but you gotta have to know when and where to do it. These are all XT5 photos. I just did this wedding. It was like last weekend. This is my favorite shot from the whole thing, because y'all know how I feel about my wide shots. Big fan of all the trees and stuff. We had to jump a fence to get this photo, but the couple was really down for it, so I'm a fan. Do you ever use any of the Fujifilm color profiles for your wedding edits? No. In camera, I use classic chrome, and I would totally deliver classic chrome. But yeah, I use my own edits when I'm editing the raws. So now I ask at the beginning, I'm like, hey, a few things. Is there anything you know for sure you'd like me to Photoshop? Maybe a mole or skin tag. Oh yeah. That's the nicer way. I'll just straight up be like, hey, I noticed that scar. This was so good. It was so dark too. We were like losing light at this point. Here's my before and after. You see, so I'm at ISO 1000. And so this is, again, looking at the settings, right? So I'm on the 16 f2.8, which I don't like that 2.8. So, and look how grainy it is. It's like dark. So I'm at ISO 1000. I'm at 1/60th of a second because I know I can get that shot with the IBIS. And I already told my couple not to move. So if they're there and they're not moving, 1/60 is fine for me. Which is what helped keep my ISO down. I probably could come even lower. But yeah, at the end of the day, you really have to know your camera. Because, like, y'all wouldn't know. Like, looking at the photo, you'd have no idea that it was literally the end of the light. Actually, what time was it? Yeah, it's like almost 6:30. The sun was setting, and it was a heavy overcast day, so it was already dark. Like, at this point, I was really like, yeah, so we don't have any light. Here, like, look at this, but, like, it was dark. So, again, the biggest thing is, like, know your camera. You gotta know your camera. Like, it was so dark. Shooting at ISO 1000, which is not horribly high, but again, I'm like struggling. You ever call the groom or bride by the wrong name? Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I'm the worst with names, especially actually at this wedding. The groom's name was Bradford, and like luckily I didn't do it, but there were so many times where I came so close to calling him Brandon. Like I could feel it in my mind. And I was like, no, that's not his name. Don't say it out loud. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, like, these were just underexposed, or they were overexposed way too much. And they didn't really need to be. It's like super bright. Sometimes I know it's hard because you want to expose for the couple and you feel like you're not seeing them. But yeah, I would have brought this way down. Cute. Here's our before and after from Imagine, and honestly, this looks good because this is like reception lighting. There's nothing I can do to fix this. Like it's gonna look like that. You know, at most we can do a black and white because these type of photos work as black and white. Yeah. But yeah, this like reception-y type photo with like the weird colors, it's just what you're gonna get. Hey, I was just driving it. I'm home. The image of the bride in the window is an example of the difference with Lightroom and Capture One on the Fuji files. Yes. The difference is pretty big actually, because I've used Capture One a little bit, and yeah, the difference is huge. Lightroom treats Fuji files so different. Yes, I had a friend remarry, and they asked me to shoot their wedding, and I called the bride my friend's ex. No! Oh no! That's horrible. Did they just look at you like, da-na-na? I called the groom Chad at their wedding this past Monday, and it became a whole joke. Yeah, because Chad. Hey, Chad. Nice. Great shot. Clean. Blinking. Why he do that? Nice and clean. Let's see if we can save that blinking. Let's go to Photoshop. I knew her for 5 years before I met the new bride, but they laughed it off. Yeah, you were like, oh my god, what have I done? It was even more funny because I was the only one vendor. The only vendor, the whole that messed it. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna see if Photoshop. I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh god, I'm scared. I should have been able to do both eyes at the same time. Oh no! Look at this. It's like an anime eye. Wow. What is it? Oh, that's a candidate. Okay, but see, I messed myself up. Can I lasso both? Can I add an extra lasso? Can I like... Oh, no, you can't. The problem, though, is, like, I don't even know what her eye color was. So, like, I don't know if you could really do this. You ever take the photos and tell them to smile at you and then they each take turns closing their eye? Yep. Yeah, see, it's going to just, like, wow, that's wow. It's going to keep generating differences. Did they include another? No, but I'm sure the photographer took multiples. That eye's not bad. That's like an Asian eye, though. You could always like duplicate it. Isn't that right? That's an Asian eye, isn't it? I can't tell. I don't even know why. Why am I doing this, y'all? I'm gonna risk my whole life. We're gonna do it. What if I just let it go by itself? What do you think it's gonna do? Oh my goodness. Why am I doing this? Oh no. There we go. We'll just generate someone else's face. There you go. That's what happens if you don't look at the camera. I'm gonna make you somebody else. Do you use gels at all on your flash or speed lights to help the white balance? I don't, and I probably should, but I've never had a huge problem with it. Let me stop. Let me stop doing this before I like. Hold on, I'm gonna risk it all here. Let's do both at the same time. You could do a face swap. Yep, exactly. Okay, it's doing it though. Oh wow. Look at her new face. She looks great. Imagine if you just delivered it. And then like no one would probably notice until one day she was looking at the photo and she's like, "What's wrong with my eyes? That's not my face." Oh, goodness. There. It probably looks nothing like her, but like, I don't know. You might be able to pass that by and no one would know. So someone would look at it and be like, "You look crazy in this photo." Cute. This one, because of the pose, feels like a black and white to me. I have never seen anyone use AI to do Yeah. Much better. Something is bothering me. There we go. ISO is 1250, so we'll denoise it some. It's the vertical, yeah. It's like leaning weird. John, check out the image on my story. It's the bride in the window image. Is your Instagram, is it the same name? Is your name on here? Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it is. It is the same. I don't see any stories. Now looking at some of these photos though, just on Instagram, it looks like Capture One really does better with the dynamic range of the cameras.
Are still making in 2025.
It's a toss-up between prices being too high. The other one is not showing your prices on your website at all. Unless you're that photographer, you need to show your prices.
That's one pricing mistake photographers.
This photo's great though. If anything, I wonder, yeah. Entire person. This Let's raise the shadows on him a little bit. What happens if I auto? Oh, goodness. Here, let me see. Do Instagram on the computer this time. GK photography. Oh yeah. You were really able to save those highlights a little bit better. Mine was still all blown out. Welcome to New Orleans, building where nothing is straight. You're just like sitting there trying to straighten it the whole time, like, rah! Oh, nice. This is black and white to me, yeah. Yeah, I love playing with stairs like this. It's so fun. This would be black and white. The rest of these are all great. I like this one with the flash coming through a little bit more. I would black and white this one too. There he goes. GK in the flesh. Wow, 10 millimeters. That's wide. This could be, yeah, this is wide, bro. That's crazy. Crop that in a little bit. George is the new hobby. Wow, nothing is straight. What is this? Ow! Submitted a whole wedding. Oh, that looks like it was a private dance. That's nice. Okay, hold on. I know I'm going kind of fast through these. I wanted to just look at them overall. Nice. This is great. Great reception coverage. Oh, she got the tan lines on the back of her dress. 10 to 24. Nice. Oh, I used to have the 10 to 24. I love that lens. Okay, hold on. Let me take another quick BRB. Okay, I'm back. I didn't edit this photo. So when you're using flash like this with my preset, I always have the highlights turned all the way down, but you can't do that. Because then you see how like everything looks all weird. Wow, 4000 ISO. Was that even flash? It probably wasn't. Put on some of that D-noise. Sorry, I just grabbed a bunch. It's fine. There's always one person who puts like 30 photos in. It happens. It's okay. I edited my wedding sneak peeks from Saturday's wedding with your ImagenAI profile. Nice. Oh, we're at the end, y'all. Here's our before and after with Imagine, with my profile. I like this. Yeah. This is nice. This again, like this is good to go. I don't need to edit this. It might work in black and white, and maybe the magenta is a little much. Yeah, it was a little too magenta. We need to pull the highlights so we can see that sun beaming through a little bit. I wonder if I save the sky. No. I think color wins this one. The colors look so good. Also, this lilac purpley stuff really works. Flash bounce diffuser. Okay. They both go pretty hard, actually. It's a hard choice, honestly. Yeah, the purple is awesome. So see the most recent thing? The most recent thing I've been having a hard time with is I really want to lean into the heavy grain on like all of my photos. But I just can't bring myself to do it. But I love the way it looks. So what I would do is instead of using my color sharpening and grain, I would use my black and white one on the color photos. And I love the way it looks. Oh, you know what I was also thinking about doing too? I was thinking about going back and being like much more filmy, going back to how we used to shoot back in the 2010s and like fade the photo. That's too much. Now y'all are seeing my secrets. I'm giving away all the secrets, y'all. Oh, that's too much contrast at that point. There you go. Like I almost wanna do it. I almost want to get this film-esque craziness going on. I really almost want to do it. It's such an abrupt change though from my normal style. This is an example of an amazing. Oh, okay. Tell me about the backlit photos. No, yes, this is a great backlit photo. This is how it works. Create a preset with this look and you got my money. I mean, yeah, it looks great. Like I really kind of want to do it. Let me get. This is how I would normally do it, though. This, or this is the low grain. See, like, it's nice, but it's almost too clean. Like, I want it grainy like that. I mean, really, my own preset is already a little faded, so I don't want to fade it too much. Natural feels for real. I feel like, is it not black enough? Ugh. I mean, really. Maybe I'll call it Natural Fields Film. Natural Films? Natural Fields Film? If John was a rapper, Quinn and I would... Yeah, this is like that early 2010s look. I wonder if couples would be down for that. Now y'all got me over here thinking. Dreamy wedding vibe. Yeah. Like nice and flat. Y'all are gonna be my brainstorm team. Yes, yes, that's it. I gotta figure out how to make it, because the thing is, what I just did is I did something in Lightroom and then also finished it in Evoto, and I can't sell that. Like, I need it to be a single thing, so I'd have to figure out how to work it out in Lightroom alone. That would be the hard part. Here, let me try it on one of my own photos. Let me go back to that let's see if I can work it out on my own stuff. I mean, yeah, if you're into a film look, this is hitting. Hold on, I wonder... Oh yeah, because I have it way high. I think I can save this. I thought there was a way. Preset token. I thought there was a way to save my settings. Oh yeah, save preset. And then oh wait, can I move it? No, I just like messed myself up. Hold on, let's try that again. Now y'all got me in the zone. Natural Fields Film inside this group here. Yeah, I feel like you have to really like it. I might need to adjust the grain some too. Let's see what it looks like on a black and white photo. Yeah, I used to edit like this, y'all. Like when I started, this is how I was editing. Pretend I'm the guy in the opera from Mr. Teeth. Hold on, let me try it on this one too. Oh wait, hold on. I need to see what it looks like. It's a unique look. You would really have to be about that life. I don't know if couples would be for it. I do kind of like that flat look though, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah. Maybe one day. Let me go back to what I was doing. Let me stop getting sidetracked. Here's our last photo. GK in the house again. With a little bit of off camera. So we'll get rid of this. Try it on one of the ones from the engagement session you showed us at the beginning. I'm sorry I didn't give any photos to edit. It's okay. It's okay. It's been a while since we've had a Quinn photo. I wonder, let's see if I can warm up the background a little. Yeah, just a bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm always half and half on the faded look. Like, I like it a lot, but then like this, I don't know if it would work on this. Like, it's super stylized. I feel like you either love it or you hate it. There's no middle ground. You said the engagement session I showed at first. That was this one. That's right. I just culled this whole thing. Let me take a couple photos from it. Just to see how it would look. I bought new gear and I don't have it. Hey, it's Ben. Welcome to the stream. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. I'm over here contemplating having a more film look to my photos. I don't know if the couples would go for it though. That's my concern. At the end of the day, it's about the couples. And it's such a stark difference. Such a stark difference from what I normally do. There's the quote of the day. With ImagenAI, you can keep sleeping. Let it edit for you. It looks good on this one. See, Quinn, I shoot a little backlit too. I gotta look at the little backlit on the hair. I'll be doing some backlit. It's such a hard choice. It looks great. Like, I actually don't mind it. I really don't mind it, y'all. Y'all got me over here messed up. Got me messed up. I'm about to do it for real. Don't be surprised if y'all see a new preset drop. I use ImagenAI, but I don't like that cropping and straightening is extra money. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I always just eat the money for the straightening. I'm fine with it. But I do understand where you're coming from. Can I view multiple photos at a time? And I don't think I can. Is there like a grid view? Oh, that's just before and after. I mean, yeah, the film, it's a vibe, y'all. It kind of looks like film too. Actually, if anything, I should turn down the sharpening too. Where is it? The detail? Sharpening should come way down. And just really, really make it feel. I wonder if I turned it off. I mean, didn't know you turned me into a mod. I'm not even a photographer anymore. But you were the best. You used to hang out in the streams all the time. So yeah, I had you as a mod like early on. I'm pretty sure you still have mod powers. Yeah, I was add a little grain. I'm like, I think it has enough grain already. Yeah, bringing down the highlights really makes it look like. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can find some of my film photos real quick. Cause it's really kind of looking like film. Oh, I don't know where they are though. I don't know where they are. Oh, here goes some. So here you go. Here's real film versus my natural fills film. If anything, I can pull back a little bit and not have it be as faded. I mean, yeah, it actually kind of works. This might be it. It might be the look. Hold on, let me see. I wonder if I can, oops. I wonder if I pulled it down so it's not as... Yeah, like that. I think I can update it. Yeah, because now it's not as like, it's not as faded anymore. Goodness. No sharpening at all, just none. Straight out. Like, I mean, it's digital photos anyway. Like, digital photos are already way sharper than film would be in the first place. This actually has some nice contrast on it, though. I'll advertise it every day. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, now I just need to figure out how to recreate it inside of Lightroom, and I really will do it. Y'all have seen history in the making. History in the making. By John's Natural Feel Films. Natural Films. That's a tongue twister. Maybe it should just be Natural Films. I'll have to see if there's like, I don't know. Yep, that might be the look. Okay, well, thank you all for hanging out on the stream. You all have helped me create something, so I'm gonna work on that maybe, and maybe release it in the near future. But thank you all for hanging out on the stream, and also big shout out again to this stream's sponsor, ImagenAI. Don't forget to check out in the comments or in the description below for 1,500 free edits. And use Imagine. Stop editing all your photos by yourself. Use it as an assistant so you can save yourself time and hours. That's what I do. And I hope looking at Imagine and seeing it in action really helped you all out with the culling and the editing and just seeing that it's like awesome and fast. So again, thank you for Imagine for sponsoring this stream. I need to get back to the normal streams. At some point I will. So again, thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, keep an eye out for that new preset possibly. And I'll catch you all next time.